Good morning and welcome to your training on the BR 101. Today I'll teach you how to set up the loco and cab car properly from a parked state. Normally there is a checklist, but our printer went on strike again. Therefore I'll tell you step by step what you have to do. Also, there is a PDF version you can simply download and use. First, we look around the loco and check there are no wheel chocks or external supply cables and an overhead line above the loco. Now you can enter cab 1 and enable battery power on the loco. Now, sit down on the driver's seat on cab 1 and wait for the displays to boot up completely. When the screen's booted up, move the reverser to V and check for any already existing information or malfunctions on the screen. Set the reverser to neutral while we set up this cab. When the screen's booted up, move the reverser to V and check for any already existing information or malfunctions on the screen. Use the display to check for any existing faults. If there are any, try and get rid of them before continuing. Pressing V equals 0 after selecting an entry shows you corrective measures. Now raise the pantograph and close the MCB. Release the direct brake and turn the brake valve key. Now we start the brake check. Use the train brake to reduce brake pipe pressure to 4.2 bar and make sure the loco brakes apply. Use the C pressure gauge for this. Then you can release the brakes again. After checking pneumatic brake control, we switch to the electronic brake control by switching the ELPN selector to EL. After that, you do the same steps as in the pneumatic checkup. We continue with checking the direct brake. For that, simply apply the direct brake above 2 bar, check if the brakes are indeed applied, and release them afterwards. Now, the last real test on this cab, check if the horn works using the pedal. Now we're ready to get going. Apply the direct brake so we won't roll away and release the parking brake. After coupling, you may apply a full service brake and close the train brake valve key. Now set the ZXS switch to ZWS. Turn off the signal lights, set the reverser to O and remove it.
Störung.
This concludes our work on the loco. Next stop, cab car. Walk over there and enter the cab car's cab. First, set the tail light switch to on. After that, enter the cab and set the signal lights to headlights. Now enable Sifa by setting the cutout valve to open, and then you can sit down on the driver's seat. Put in the reverser key and set it to V. Now, to check if the ZWS connection is working, we open the MCB and lower the pantograph. After that, we rise the pantograph and close the MCB again. Now for the brake test. Start off with applying the direct brake for at least 3 seconds and unlocking the train brake valve. Perfect. We can release the train brake now and use the overcharge button to overcharge the brake pipe to above 5.3 bar. Last but not least, test the horn with the foot pedal. That concludes the general preparation of the BR101 with the cab car. Depending what's next, you have to set the train data at the ZDE, which you can learn in another training module. In this training module, you'll be learning how to enter the train data in the BR101. If you look at your indicators, you can see that your train is currently in PZB mode U, indicated by the lit up 55. The max speed of the mode is 100 km per hour. To reach higher speeds, you'll need to input your train data into the computer at the back wall. On this computer, you will see multiple numbers. BRA is the brake mode, BRH is the brake power, ZL is the train length, and VMZ is the maximum speed of your consist. Let us start by inputting the brake power. It's calculated from given values for each vehicle in your consist. In this case, it's 180, so we input 18. Train length and maximum speed are more self-explanatory. Your train is 260 meters long and has a max speed of 200 kilometers per hour. Lastly, we need to confirm the data by pressing Send Train Data. If the numbers stop flashing, they're accepted. Return to your seat to see the PZB mode has changed to O. The 85 is now lit up instead of the 55. To learn more about this topic, please consider reading the manual. This tutorial will end as soon as you release the brakes. In this training module, you'll be learning how to diagnose faults and handle them on a generic basis. On your left screen, a yellow ST just appeared. Your train has developed a fault. Click on ST above the screen to get more information. It appears the fuse for your wipers has blown. To get more information on how to fix this error, we need to click on the button next to it, V equals 0. This screen is in German. With the ID in the top left, you can search the manual for an English translation. In this case, it's just telling you to try to re-enable circuit breaker 71F09. Let's do that. Returning to your seat, you will see the fault has disappeared. Not all faults are as easy as this to solve, but it should give you an idea on how to approach the problems. You can press the C button to return to the main screen. Release the brakes after to end this module. In this training module, you'll be learning how to turn off Sifa in the expert mode with the BR101. You might be used to just switching off the Sifa fuse. In this locomotive, you also need to enable the cut-off valve for Sifa to disconnect it from the braking system. For this, we will head into the machine room, where we will disable both. The braking rack you just interacted with controls all parts of the train that interact with the brake pipe. A lot of faults are often located here. Now that you've learned to disable Sifa, your next journey might be less stressful, even in expert mode. Auf Wiedersehen!